So, Tatiana, what does it mean to you and for you, and why is it important for people to understand about Kundalini energy?
Well, as I mentioned, people call energy, which is one for all different names. Some people call it God, some people call it absolute, universe, whatever people call it, it's all one. So Kundalini is a divine energy of life, love, the energy of the whole creation. That's what it is. And this energy of love and life force energy heals everything. And when I work with that energy, basically I channel it through me. We all are connected to it already. We're all one way or another, whether we realize it or not. But when intentionally the clients come to me and I intentionally come to the session as a facilitator, it becomes more intense. So I channel that energy through me to the client. So the energy finds those blockages in the body and releases those blockages, hence releases those mind programs for people, building new neuron connections in your brain that open a true infinite abundance that exists out there in the universe. So you remember that you can do anything in life, really, anything you want, when you find this state of freedom, authenticity, and make your decisions and actions and reactions in life out of place of love instead of fears. And I want to also tap into something you just mentioned, that we learn through challenges. And it's true. Most of people tend to go inwards only when it's a challenging situation, right? And what I remind people, that you don't have to learn and evolve through pain only. You can actually evolve through pleasure. And for that, you need to see the life as is, as a whole, remembering that pain is just a part of life and it's as beautiful as everything else. Remembering that if you, the whole creation is set to evolve. So we are, as a part of creation, as this creation, have to tend to evolve, want to evolve our true nature. So whether if you don't listen to it and don't evolve by your will, facing your fears, going through that, jumping into the unknown, just because beyond that is your new level of evolution and expansion. If you don't do that, then you basically, in a way, attract challenging and traumatic situations in your life to learn it through them. So there are two ways to learn. And when you remember that state of how to live consciously in awareness and create your life out of that place, you actually can evolve through pleasure. That's what I remind my people and my clients as well.
I think that's a really powerful point. There is no doubt that we grow through our challenges. And I know that from a personal point of view, that there's been huge gifts in that. But to recognize that there is growth through pleasure, so long as you set the intention and that you engage in that fulsomely, I think is a really great reminder, particularly for many of our listeners are going through huge challenges at the moment. There seems to be such dissension, doesn't there, and polarization within society at the moment. And I think many people lose sight of the fact that coming from a place of love rather than fear is so much more powerful.
Yes, definitely. And that's exactly what expands you. And that's exactly how you can see any situation from the prism of love and enjoy anything, because every experience, every single one of it, whether your mind defined it as a good one or as a bad one, every single experience is here for you to connect back to your true self.
I think that's a really powerful point. And I know, the universe tends to give you a little poke if you don't remember. And then the poke becomes, a slap. And then the slap becomes a kick up the bottom. And before you know where you are, you're poleaxed. And I know from experience with so many clients that they have to reach that, they have had to reach the point of rock bottom before they listen and they start to do the inner work. And it would make so much more sense if at the first sign of that little poke that people recognized that actually that they can do this in a very different way, and actually you don't need to wait for the poke. You can actually take on board who you are, this amazing, unique, wonderful human being who has the capacity, if you choose to believe it, to be anything and do anything.
Absolutely.
There's so many people who equate success with the external trappings, as you say, the supposedly successful family, the big house, the car, the lifestyle. And I know from my own experience with clients that very often that the energy and the excitement about that is very short-lived, because as soon as you have created the opportunity to have a big house, well, it loses its luster, and then you need a bigger house or you need something else, because it's really, there's nothing that's actually working at a core level. It's simply trappings.
Yeah.
And has that been your experience for your clients too?
It's for every client, it's so different, so different. It was my experience for sure, and I can share that. And I can teach people how to be rich and abundant internally, and that internal states then radiates into the external life in abundance in health, relationship, wealth, everything. Because for many people, I have different clients who are more, let's say, material than spiritual, then they lack that sense of fulfillment in their life. And that's what they find working with me. Or other clients that are very spiritual, denying maybe some of material pleasures in life. And we're here to experience it all. We're spiritual beings living in material world, and it's all one. So these people learn through the working with me, learn how to bring that spiritual abundance in material world, and how to be abundant here on earth in this life, create heaven and wealth in many areas for themselves.
It's an interesting concept, I think, for many people, that they see abundance as purely around financial gain, and they equate their self-worth with their bank balance. We're going to go for a short break, but when we come back, I'd like to explore the whole issue around abundance and how we can live an abundant life without it being necessarily tied to material wealth. But we can have material wealth as well, so long as that comes alongside the spiritual and emotional wealth of being happy, contented, joyful. And I think it's getting that balance between the two, which is going to be different for everyone. Tatiana, I'd like to explore with you how abundance, holistic abundance, can be manifest in people's lives, and how important it is that people set the intention that they want to live an abundant life and do the inner work that I think is required.
Yeah. So we are born to be abundant and free in life. But then as we grow up, there are different social norms and things that our parents teach us, our environment teaches us, cultures, and that starts to set some limitations for us. As kids, we're very much connected to ourselves and to our body. And when we want to cry, we cry. When we want to laugh, we laugh. And we don't separate people for honest, dishonest, good or bad. We just learn about the world because it is so different. And then as we go through life, our parents might start saying, oh, don't cry, you're too big for that, or don't laugh too loudly because we're in a space where other people are. So you start pushing your emotions, or stacking your emotions, stopping your emotions from expression. And then you go through different experiences in life, and some experiences that we define as traumatic, in reality, it's just an intense experience in your life. But some of them might leave some mark on you if you don't live it properly, and create a mind program around that. For example, if your parents divorced, you might have a mind program that there are no happy marriages exist. So you struggle in your life to create healthy relationship. And the work I'm doing is a combination of NLP and energy work, where people remember that the reality is much wider, that all these limitations they started to put themselves by living these social norms and by going through traumatic experiences, not living through them properly, and not living through some emotions properly. They stuck in your body, they stuck as trauma, as blockages, and it's all related on energy and body field. It's trauma and blockages. In your mind, it's mind program. So I work with both to release both, to show that it's a mind program and there is so much more abundance available, infinite abundance of health, wealth, and how you can build your relationship just the way you truly want in life. And releasing these emotional blockages that are stuck in your body. So by doing the work and connecting both, people walk out of the sessions feeling more free and remembering that, believing that there can be a different way of living and seeing relationship or seeing money, because so many limiting beliefs are there around money. So people misunderstand that topic so much. Money is just a mediator to exchange goods, services, experiences between people. It's here for us, to help us to live this interesting life. And so many people might have, for example, limiting beliefs about money, that money are dirty, money come from, big money can come only illegally. And so, or some people would say, oh, I don't need my money, which is not true. We all do need it, because that helps us to live this interesting life just the way we want. So by releasing these limitations and seeing money for energy for what it is, you understand that, for example, buying a car is not buying a car as a prestige, a state to do, or something prestigious to have. It's your feelings around them, because you can have a car, very expensive one, and don't enjoy it at all. Or you can have a less expensive car and enjoy it much more just because. So it's about feelings around anything you buy, anything you experience, and so on and so forth. It's your quality of life, how you live, what your view from the window is, what you see every day, with whom you communicate every day. And it's in your power to create it just the way you want it. Some people need lots of money, some people don't. Some people need different properties around the world. Some people need just one place where they live and it makes them happy. People are different. So by being honest with yourself, what you truly want, you can expand it to the outer world without any limitations of your mind programs.
I think it was interesting that you talked about gratitude for life. And before we actually started recording today, I said, how are you? I hope life is treating you well. And your comment to me is, it doesn't matter how life is treating me, I choose to enjoy it. And I think that having that attitude towards life, embracing every opportunity. And I come from the same place, that I see even the difficult challenges in life as an opportunity to grow and learn. And I believe that gratitude is incredibly powerful, and it's free. It's something that we all have the capacity to engage in the process of being grateful. And I have often talked to guests on the show and to our listeners about collecting gratitudes as we go through the day, as a way of recalibrating our brain from a place of lack and the focus on what we haven't got, to being grateful for those things that we have.